I need a bad girl to make my homie lose his cool. I need a bad girl who love listen to the bad Ice Cube. I need a bad girl to make me wanna break the roof. I need a bad girl, boom chicka wow wow, sex on my roof.
Hi guys, this is Miss Polly. It is nice to see you. I am back with another poly conversation that I would love to share with you guys. So today, before I get into it, I want to again let you guys know to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys love the content, so we can keep giving you more. Also, I'm building up my life coaching business right now, so that app should be coming out to you guys so we can learn how to build better relationships, and I'll be giving that information out soon. We right now are in the stage of doing one-on-one, so those are available, and then we're going to be having some workshops and more one-on-ones with everyone so they can really start building those good relationships. And if you like work on building poly relationships, so we really are putting a lot of effort into that right now. So that is soon to come, full out and everything ready. So if you are interested, like I said below, I'll be having a link so you guys can have that information. So other than that, we are on to a topic that I think is important, because a lot of people ask this question, especially people who are new in the poly. And one of the first things a lot of people think, or there's a misconception about, is cheating. And that's a really big thing. So in when you start to get into poly, the first thing you're thinking to yourself is maybe, what does this mean? And a lot of people sometimes think, well, this is just a free ticket to go out and do whatever I want. If I see someone and I like them, I'm going to go ahead and have this relationship with them. And I don't have to, talk to anyone about it. It's just a choice that I'm making. This is not true, guys. Not true. Cheating is still a thing in poly. So don't think once you get into poly that your partner has the right to tell you, oh, well, it's not cheating just because you don't want me to do this. It's not cheating. This is not true. This is not true. And I'll tell you why it's not true. So usually in a pod situation where you have found a partner, even one-on-one, this can be a monogamous situation also. If you find a partner, usually set down rules if you're monogamous that you guys would like to abide by, or sometimes it's unspoken rules that I talk about a lot, the unspoken rules of monogamy. Those things are already in place. When you're into a poly situation, there is some kind of boundaries that you're going to speak about. You're going to talk about, what makes me not feel comfortable. Just because you're poly doesn't mean that you're not working on things. You may have some insecurities or things you need to work on. Being poly doesn't mean all of a sudden you don't have any insecurities. You're not triggered by anything. We are people, and especially people who are transitioning, right? Like, you could be transitioning, you could have been into the poly life for a year now, and you still struggle with some things. That's just normal. So yes, there are situations where you have to have a conversation with your partner. You talk about your boundaries. What's acceptable. What triggers me. If you ask your partner, if you're going to seek other partners, currently, you might set some rules down. Some rules, for example, could be, I would like that you don't sleep with someone, maybe for a couple of weeks, or before you have any sexual interaction, that we have a discussion about it. If you think that you're at that point where you're ready to have a sexual interaction with them, let me know. So then if it does occur, we're aware. There's a lot of safety things that come with that also. Like, you want to make sure, maybe like, okay, before you have sexual interactions, I would like to know, get them tested. You get tested, we get tested. These are things we like to do. Use protection. All these things are really important. So for people to say there's no cheating, it doesn't make sense. There are boundaries that people have, and then they talk to their partner about these boundaries. Now, like I said, monogamy, it was more like rules or unspoken rules. But if you have boundaries and you set those boundaries and your partner disregards those boundaries, or they kind of go back to maybe being dishonest because they're worried about your reaction, which turns into lying, and then that turns into them being sneaky, all those things that clearly that's what cheating is: being sneaky, lying, and not being honest. So if you're doing those things, those are cheating. Even if it was a one-time thing, you met someone at a lovely club, you guys are having the best time ever, and you have a one-night stand with them, and you're like, oh man, what do I do? Really, you need to go, kind of fess up to what just happened. Being honest about making mistakes is the first thing you should know about being in a relationship, because we all make mistakes. But being honest and coming out and saying what's going on, not waiting 4 weeks or waiting till you feel comfortable. It's not about that. It's really about being honest and upfront about what you're doing and what's been going on. So yes, you can cheat. Because you're disrespecting and have no disregard for the boundaries. And there's some people who aren't really into poly. They're more into what they think it is. And so that's why we try to get clear cut lines of being open and being poly. And so usually in poly, these are committed relationships, or they're turning into a committed relationship with more than one partner. Open relationship is more like you have a commitment with one of your partners that has a lot of commitments in there, and then you have boundaries, and then you allow other people to come into your relationship, usually for sexual moments, and then they are not as important, or sometimes not even part of the relationship anymore after those functions have taken place. So if you are someone who's really interested in being open or into lifestyles, these are more open kind of relationships that don't require you to feel any bad feelings about what you're doing, but also, once again, you're not lying, you're not being honest. People who are in lifestyles usually say, hey, I'm in lifestyles. So, like, I go to parties and I enjoy these kind of functions. And even in that, you may have boundaries still. Hey, I'm in lifestyles. I'd like to be a person that you see maybe, every once in a while. Do you have any restrictions to that? All those things. So, see, these are still boundaries that we have for ourselves, the individuals, and we try to make these boundaries with other people so that we can have a relationship with them. So, like I said, I think that misconception of poly people can't cheat, that's not true. And people need to really work on being honest and all those things so that those things don't happen. But yeah, that's a misconception. So we want to clear that up. But like I said, the first thing you want to do, obviously, if you're getting into a poly relationship or you decide on transitioning, please get information. That is very important, because being clear about what you're deciding to do and what you want to do is important for everyone, not just yourself. Because if you are representing something, you don't want to misrepresent. And if you're following something, you don't want to find the wrong match for you. Just because we like people, guys, you remember, just because you like someone doesn't mean that they're the match for you. I can like someone and think they're an awesome person, but what they want in their lives and their goals aren't what I want. And I'm not going to pretend just to get them to like me to try to change their minds. So this is really important. So when you guys are thinking about possibly transitioning or things like that, and you're thinking about the poly lifestyle, be aware that there are people who make mistakes. Cheating can happen. Hopefully you can find a partner that you have these discussions with and talk about those things, so that hey, even talk about hiccups. This is a big thing, hiccups. Hey, I went out there, what do I do if this happens? If this has happened, what kind of conversation can we have, so that I'm not saying I'm going to run out here, but things happen, and we want to know what are the steps to be to take. And what I mean by that, because I think people get confused, is I'm giving this example over and over again too, because this is a common thing where I hear women say, oh, or men say, oh, it was an accident, I was drinking. So you have to deal with the consequences of your actions also. So one boundary for your partner is like, okay, well, I know you're going to be dating. I'd like you to respect my boundaries, to wait until you get tested or whatnot before you have sexual interaction with someone. If they do that, well, if you do, end up doing that or something like that happens, just know that we're going to have to wait to have sex amongst ourselves until you get tested, and then, maybe even a retest situation. So these are the consequences for that, but it's nothing where we're, and then we have to work on why you feeling like you can't, you may not be able to control yourself, or if you are working on something else, or if you're into something, what can we do? Do we need to, talk about what we can do before you go on a date. So if you're really excited or something, to bring that down, what can we do to help you? So these are things we work on as we're going into poly, and talk about with your partner. These conversations are very important. So I want you guys to have a great time building relationships, but I did want to get this information out to you. This is a short video, but remember, subscribe if you like this video. If you guys want to know a little bit more tricks and tips, we're going to keep building on this, especially this month. Like I said, I've been a little busy, so my videos have been a little bit more spread out, but I'm going to try to do a double load here so you guys can get some good information. And all my special links and things like that, you'll see them usually in the beginning of the video, but everything's Miss Polly, Polly Wright, or Miss Polly. So Instagram, I'm there. I also have a poly group, the Poly Lounge, and we do some events there in the Midwest. So we're going to be really working on building a great community online, also in person. So reach out to me, guys, if you have any questions. Like I said, if you guys would like to do life coaching with me, reach out to me. I have my website set up, at least for one-on-ones right now, and then we can go from there. So I'll see you guys later, and thanks for taking the time. Bye.